Hello, everyone. This is Alfredo with Century 21, and today I'm here with one of our partners, Briana Martinez. How you doing, Briana?
Good morning. Good.
Good
How
morning.
are you?
Good. So first of all, for those that don't know you, if you want to introduce yourself, and then we'll get down with the questions.
My name is Briana Martinez, and I work at Kemford Kroll. I'm a lawyer. We are a Las Vegas-based law firm serving the community.
Perfect. Not only are you serving the community, but you're also supporting our organization, which I really appreciate. But we want to make sure that you guys get to know Briana and what she does. But first of all, let's go back. Like, you're an attorney now.
Yes.
Right?
I am.
And I'm sure you love it. Do you like
Depends
it?
the
Do you
day.
like it? Do you love it? Because I hear
Depends the day.
I was talking to somebody the other day, like, yeah, I'm a lender and I'm, 8 years and loving it. And I said, loving it every day. He's like, no.
Yeah, no, it's true. Let's be honest.
Okay,
it
so
depends the day.
It depends on the day.
Yes.
So what makes it a good day? What makes it a bad day?
Sometimes the clients, sometimes the deals I'm working on. It just depends how busy we are.
Is it stressful? Is it the stress that makes it bad, or is it the client?
It depends.
It depends what
I'm
day.
being honest. Really, a lot of times I'm like a problem solver for clients, right? So clients have a huge problem.
So you're
but
like a realtor.
Yeah, in a way, right?
realtor.
We're the trusted person that they come to with all of their issues, and they want you to fix it right away, right? But that's all of our clients have issues, and so everybody wants it done at the same time.
Yeah, they're like, we need this done, and
Yes.
you're like, well, wait a minute, we need to figure this out first
Yes.
and do all this, all right? So
Exactly.
now let's go back a little bit. You're a successful attorney.
Thank you.
You work at a very, reputable office.
Yes.
If that's even a word. I think it is.
I think
Yeah,
so.
I think so. Yeah, is it? Okay. But when you were young, for those that don't know, I know Briana since she was a kid. And at what point in your life, because I did not see this coming.
That's rude.
No, I mean, I'll tell the story. But at what point in your life did you decide? Well, first of all, what did you want it to be when you grew up? Like, what was in your mind when you were a kid? And I'm sure you had the same mentality that we all did at one point,
So I don't remember as a kid exactly what I wanted to be.
Okay.
I just remember at some point I wanted to be an attorney, and I have no idea where it came from because I did not know any attorneys. Maybe from watching Law and Order or something
Was
like
that
that.
what-
I have no idea. I think so. And then it kind of stuck. And I want to say that happened probably in undergrad,
Okay.
like really early on. So I was probably like 18, 19.
Okay.
And then it kind of took off from there.
And you know what? And when I say I didn't see that coming, it's obviously because she was always like very outgoing, very talkative, very, she was a great kid. But then, I mean, I don't know. I figure you would follow your dad's
My
steps.
dad, yeah.
But obviously she came to become a lawyer, and then now she loves it. But you just don't remember exactly how that happened. You figure, what about when you went to school, like university? Did you thought about law school? Was it just
No.
general studies, and then all of a sudden you decided to go to law?
Yeah, so I think originally I had chosen like criminal justice. Like I was always into,
like everybody else.
Yeah, but it's interesting to me, right? I mean, I didn't take that path. Like I don't do criminal law in any capacity, but that was interesting to me. And then after my first year of college, I interned with Senator Reed's office, and I learned a lot about immigration law. And so then I was like, okay, I want to be an immigration attorney.
Okay.
So that's kind of what helped me, and they taught me all of like my bosses at the office. They were studying for the LSAT, which is like the entrance exam. They told me all about the entrance exam and all of that. And then that's kind of what prompted me. And then I switched my major and I did some research, but getting to that point where I'm like, oh, I want to be an attorney. I have no idea what prompted it, but I did want to do real estate. I wanted to work with my dad. Let's be
honest.
Yeah, no, I did. I really wanted to. And he was like, no, you need to go to school. You need to go to school. You need to finish school. And so that's basically what happened.
And then what happened with immigration law?
So I learned about immigration law when I was in undergrad interning. And then in law school, I worked in the immigration clinic. I took immigration classes, but then ultimately I was like, that's not really like my area. Like I was more interested in real estate and contracts and stuff like that.
Something I had to deal with. Okay.
And immigration law, to me, it seemed like the people that I want to help, like I'm not going to make money. I'm going to help them because I just want to help them, right? Because they can't afford an attorney. And the immigration system is so broken.
Yeah.
That I was like, I don't want any part in that.
Did we just say that openly? Yeah, it is. It is broken.
Yeah.
It is
so
broken.
I don't want anything to do with it.
So, all right. So you steer off immigration attorney. Now you're a successful, is it called a probate attorney? Is that what it's?
I'm in so many different areas.
Okay.
So I would just say probably transactional, which is like real estate, business law. And I do practice probate.
Okay. Perfect. Now, obviously, doing a trust is complicated. Mm-hmm. I mean, everybody thinks that doing a trust is just about, hey, I need a trust done to put the house. But then I know that we had done a couple videos together, and you done classes for brokers and stuff like that. And it involves more than just that. I mean, it involves accounts, belongings, and everything that entails personal that's owned by that person needs to be addressed in that trust, right?
Any asset that you could title.
Right, it needs to be on the trust. And some people don't realize that. They just figures, oh, yeah, I just put the house on the trust.
Yeah, exactly.
And what would you say to those individuals? Like, why is it so important to have a trust? And now I have a story because I have a client right now that we're selling their home. And this guy was like really good. Mm-hmm. Like he had a trust to the T. So it made it so simple to the daughters get everything straight after he passed. And obviously, dispose of all their properties because they had a really good trust.
So he had everything in order. So when he passed away, his daughters just took over.
Yes, it was so well done that we didn't have any hiccups.
What about like bank accounts and stuff?
Everything was on. Everything was on. But then we always try to, encourage our community, and I'm talking about the Hispanic community.
Yes.
To do a trust. Like usually when I get a client that tells me, hey, I want to add my wife and this and this, and I ask them, well, why? Or my kids. And I said, well, why you want to do that? He goes, oh, because when I die. I said, well, why don't you do this instead? Because trust me, the issue that you're trying to solve, it's still going to happen.
Oh, I know.
With everything else.
I know.
So why is it so important to do a trust?
Well, the biggest reason is to avoid the probate process because that process takes a long time and it costs a lot of money. Like you're probably, depending on the value of your estate, which I'd probably say most people, the value of their estate is over $300,000. And that's like the long probate process, which means you're looking at least 12 to 18 months or longer through the court system. You can't just sell the property. If there is a property, like real property, you can't just sell it without court approval. And it's just super complicated. It costs hundreds, like probably $10,000 or more.
Okay.
So that's really the main reason. 1. 2 is really to have control over your assets, right? So if you want to leave all your assets to your friend and none of your children, well,
that would be a funny story.
Then you need to have it. The trust would be able to. You would be able to accomplish that with the trust, right? And who's going to oversee your affairs?
Yeah.
Because if you don't have it in writing, and you don't have a valid trust, then basically it's going to be based on what the law says.
Right.
And so that's the biggest one is control over your assets and then avoiding the probate process.
And by avoiding the probate process also has to deal with avoiding all these emotional issues after the passing of the family. I mean, I've seen it happen where people are fighting over dollars and here and there and properties.
Once there's money involved, people start fighting.
Yes.
Even if they say that they don't care, that is not true.
And even if it's in writing, and I mean, they'll still fight it. But that's why you have attorneys. That's why you want to protect yourself, your assets, and make sure that you protect your family after you pass because you don't want to leave them with all this burden of what do we do now and what do we do with all this stuff, right? So make sure you follow it. Now, for all of our members, it is very important that you contact, Briana, if you have any issues with trust and you want to get people to either consult and just see what their options are, because that's the most important thing. Now, not only is she a successful attorney, you're also the president. She's also a president of, is it Latina or Latino?
The Nevada Latino Bar Association.
Latino Bar, so the Nevada Latino, because I thought it was a Latina, but it's the Nevada Latino Bar Association. Yes. How did that happen?
Basically, I've been involved in organizations since I was in undergrad. Maybe part of it is because of my dad. I'm not sure. Probably.
Thank you.
And so In law school, I was involved. I was the president of the Latino organization for law students, and I was in this mentorship program since undergrad, actually. So I'm giving you the long story.
All right, go ahead.
But it's good for the people in the community to know about the program. So it's called Huellas.
Okay.
And it's like a 4-tier program that the law students put together.
Okay.
Where they put a high school student, an undergrad student, a law student, and then an attorney in groups.
Nice.
So I had been in that program, and I met, attorneys at that point, and they mentored me, and they were part of the LBA is the acronym for the organization. And so basically I kind of just followed in those footsteps. I had a lot of mentors that were presidents of the organization. And so the minute that I graduated law school, I joined the organization.
Okay.
And so this year I'm the president.
Oh, nice. Well, congratulations on that. Now, what is the LBA? What is its purpose?
So we have a very long purpose, but essentially it's really to serve the Latinos, the Hispanic attorneys in our community. It's very small. There was some research done a few years back where basically Latinos only represent 5% of the attorneys in
Oh, wow.
the entire country.
That is very small.
Yeah.
What about Nevada?
Nevada, I don't have those statistics. So the state bar, which is basically the association that attorneys pays dues to, I'm hoping they release that information because they're the ones that would have it. But it's been really hard for them to find out like the demographics of attorneys, apparently.
Okay.
Like people don't want to share that.
Put it on the application, right? On the bar application.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they should put
but apparently, well, now, the thing is, maybe moving forward they can put it on our application materials, but all the attorneys that are already licensed, like it's basically if you want to provide it, you can provide it. And so that's their issue right now is that people don't want to provide that information for whatever reason.
That is so weird.
That's what I think too. But
that is so weird. So, well, I really appreciate your support. I appreciate you, being part of this and being here, obviously.
Thank you.
But if you were to give a piece of advice to our members, and think about our members are, could be realtors, lenders, title industry, anything that has to do with real estate industry, but then also an audience that's not related to real estate. If you were to give them a piece of advice in regards to property and protecting their assets, what would that be?
Probably the biggest one is to have an estate plan.
Okay.
So a lot of people will go to notarios to do their estate plan.
Oh my God, don't even get me started on that.
And it's not, and this is what happened it's the same thing with immigration. Like when I was interested in immigration, it was the same thing. Like people were going to notarios to do their immigration paperwork and then it was wrong.
Yeah.
And like you have an order of deportation and you thought you submitted everything correctly.
I have a story of somebody that I know that run into a situation like that.
Yeah, and then that's really sad because to undo it, so I mean, immigration's different, but it's the same advice basically to have the estate plan put together, go to an attorney. Because if you just go to a notario, like what I'm seeing is there's templates, right? And most of it is okay, but there's always something that's not done correctly, and then that's not valid.
And it delays the process or gets canceled out or something
Basically,
like that.
If it's not, I'm sorry, if it's not valid, or if you didn't put any property in it, then it's not going to be a valid trust. You need pour over wills, which are safety mechanisms to make sure that all of your assets go to the trust. So that's really important. A lot of people don't want to pay the money now because they're like, oh, that's a lot of money. But in the future, it's going to save their family the headache and the money of going through the probate process. And they would be able to have way more control over how their affairs are handled once they're no longer here.
So if you want to know more about this, she also does some webinars and you do some classes in regards to estate planning and probate. So if you're listening to this and maybe you want to bring her to your office or something, by all means, contact her. Where can they contact you?
The easiest way is probably my direct line, which is 702-792-7072. And I'll repeat it because it's a lot of sevens. 702-792-7072.
Sounds pretty easy, right? So
it's easy, but there's a lot of sevens, so I think people
we'll put it on the caption, so make sure. So anyways, well, thank you very much for being here. Thank you much for your support, and we really look forward to next year. We are going to be doing an estate planning event.
Yes.
So hopefully we can get you guys out there, and if you have any questions, please contact Briana. She's very good at what she does, and we really support. So thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. See ya.